Good morning. It's G Butterfly and I'm coming to you live from the parking lot like I always do. Well, I need your opinion on a topic. I saw a video and it was a Delta pilot that was talking to a female passenger, and I'm going to put the video right behind this. I want you to look at the video in its entirety, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what I think about the video based on what I saw. But I want you to get in the comments afterwards and tell me, what do you think? And Scarlett, oh hell no, if you see this video, I definitely want you to get in the comments and tell me what you think about this video.
Family and nurse, it's okay. So we're not going to do that. So here's your two options. You can take the head off, like the flight attendants told you to do, which I had told them to tell you, or you'll be off the flight.
Okay, can you
tell me now tell me now which one it is.
All right, relax, sir. You just got here. Can I respond? Relax. Can you tell me where that's posted? How would I have known that?
I'm the captain of the airplane. That's where it's posted. And Delta has guidelines, and I don't have to explain it to you. You can take it off, or you can leave the airplane. It is inappropriate. I'm not going to take vulgar language on the flight.
Okay.
Verbal or written.
Okay.
You understand? Do you understand the two options?
Yeah, I heard you, sir.
No, do you understand it?
I said I heard you.
Do you understand it?
Y'all hear this?
Do you understand what two options are?
I'm not going to ruin your birthday.
For the entire flight.
Then you point it. Don't point your finger at us.
Or you leave.
Don't point your finger at us.
You got it?
Don't point your finger at us.
Okay. So which is it? Tell me now, which is it?
Tell you what, the hat is off. There's nothing to tell you. The hat is right here in my lap.
For the entire flight.
The hat is in my lap.
For the entire flight. It will not be worn the entire flight.
It's in my lap.
I didn't answer that. I see where it is.
The hat is in my lap.
Tell me.
You asked me to take the hat off. The hat's in my lap.
Tell me it's off for the entire flight.
The hat's in my lap.
1001, 1002. I got 6 kids. I raised 10 kids. I know better.
The hat, I'm not a child, sir. The hat is in my lap.
Okay. So you agree not to wear it or post that hat the entire flight. Is that correct?
Post the hat with it. The hat's in my lap.
And you're past the
You asked me to take the hat off. The hat's in my lap.
We have an agreement.
The hat's in my lap.
Okay. I can go up, make a phone call, and have a nice day. You can go to American or somebody else.
The hat is in my lap.
I need your word.
Your word for what? Sir, you playing games. The hat's in my lap. You asked me to take it off. I took it off.
I don't want to have you wear it airborne and have a problem with it.
But who's going to put it back on? The hat's in my lap.
You would.
You don't. Where do you know me from? Who will put that back on?
Because you didn't give me your word. Okay. I've said enough. You know what? You didn't give me your word. You give it to a flight attendant, and I'll just go up and have the red coats come down and TSA come down. Because we're not going to do it.
Do what? The hat is in my lap.
I want your word.
What are you talking about? What is happening right now?
I want you to tell me you're not going to wear it the entire flight.
Who was in the wrong?
Let me see.
Now you taking her
She's
hat
got
off?
family.
So you had a chance to see the video. It was about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, maybe a little shy of that. Well, what did you think? Now, we can't tell what happened to lead up to the captain coming at that moment and was talking to her. We can all assume that she had a hat on that had explicit language on the front. We can all assume that well, we can't assume because the captain actually said that the airline stewardess asked her to remove the hat. We can only assume she didn't because the captain had to come and talk to her, because he told her, she asked you to remove it because I asked her to ask you to remove it. Now, there were a few things that I took from this video, and I'm going to just look at my notes because I'll talk about each thing. Again, we already know that she didn't comply talking to the stewardess when she was asked to remove the hat. Now, did anybody notice that the stewardess was standing behind the captain and she looked like she was very afraid? Now, I wonder what happened between the two. What was said to make her look the way she looked? Because it was an airplane full of people. So I know she couldn't have been scared of the lady who was not sitting in the aisle where she can touch her. She was sitting on the other side of somebody. Now, the person sitting next to her, I'm assuming they were together because she kept looking at her. Just looking at the face, it looked like it could have been a child, not a small child, but maybe a teenager or a very, very, very young adult. But you can tell the lady who was speaking, the tone in her voice, the choice of words she used, we knew that he was talking to a full-grown woman. And she asked the captain, where is it posted that I can't wear the hat that she had on? He had the nerve to tell her, I'm the captain, so I'm where it's posted, and Delta has guidelines. She said, well, where is it posted? Now, see, that would be my question too. If there are certain clothes, certain things that they don't want you to do, that should be posted before you get in the plane. it should be posted somewhere in the plane. But that's what she was asking him, where is it posted? Now, she had a hat on that had F-U-C-K, from what I could see, because the hat eventually was on her lap. That's what was on there. So who was that offensive to? That's another thing I was wondering. Who on the plane found it offensive? Because everybody's facing forward. So if she's sitting behind you or to the side of you, what does it matter? And if you're sitting in front of her, you're not going to ride in the plane facing backwards. So what does it matter what's on her hat? Why would you be offended by the hat that she had on? Because you're not going to see it during the flight. That's just my thought. Now, he told her, you have two options. Take the hat off or pretty much be put off the plane. I didn't like the fact that he was very comfortable talking to her in a very antagonistic way, very condescending way, and then he had the nerve to point his finger. You know, when you talk to somebody, you point your finger, that's very offensive. And where in his, in his line of work was he taught that that was okay to talk to somebody? I don't care if you are the captain of the plane, the president of the United States, I don't care who you are. When you talk to another adult, and clearly she was sitting down, so he couldn't have been threatened by her in any way. But he felt very comfortable taking his finger and putting it towards her. And she told him, don't put your finger in my face. And she had every right to tell him that. Now, the hat was already off. And he wanted her to say that she would not put the hat back on. I say, see, now he's antagonizing her. Because the ultimate goal was to have her take the hat off. And that she did. She said it in her lap. This man had the nerve to say 1001, 1002. That's what you do to kids when you're trying to get them to comply with what you want them to do. Granted, she had already did it because she took the hat off. I'm like, who in the hell did he think he was talking to? And then he had the nerve to tell her, I have 6 kids and I've raised 10. I say, I wouldn't give a goddamn if he ran an orphanage that had 300 kids in it. You don't talk to me like I'm a child. And I'm only saying that because he threw out, I had 6 kids. And there's a way that you talk to other adults. And what really irritated me about this was that her hat was already off. And that's what he wanted her to do. So she complied. But he continued to stand there and make a scene, because at this point he was making a scene. I'm quite sure everybody else in the plane probably was pissed off at both of them by this point, because the plane can't move if he's not sitting up there getting ready to drive it or fly it, whatever you want to call it. So he asked her, he threatened her to have TSA come and get him. I just have the red jackets and TSA come and get you. Well, why do you need to threaten a woman after she's done what you asked her to do, which was take the hat off? He wanted her to say that she would not put it back on during the flight. Now, if she put that baseball hat on during the flight, I don't understand what could have possibly happened. The person that would have been, who could have possibly been offended by her having on a hat, should have been sitting down again, facing forward, if she would have put the hat on. And he said, do you understand? She said, I hear you. He was like, no, do you understand? Now, see, at that point, he's acting like he's talking to a child again. I know you could tell in her voice she was getting irritated, because she kept saying, look, the hat is off. It's in my lap. Where are you going with this? The hat is in my lap. He was mad because she wouldn't do exactly what he wanted her to do, the way he wanted her to do it. I'm like, you are talking to another adult. And I think he was taking advantage of his position. And he was trying to show everybody his level of authority. Well, at the point when she had taken the hat off and complied with what he had asked him to do, at this point, it was, again, antagonistic. And I hate to hear adults say bullying, but that's all he was doing. And seeing this video just kind of pissed me off. So, Miss Scarlett, oh, hell no. If you're looking at this, tell me, what do you think about this? Because you have a little more insight about the airline industry. And I would just like to know, is this typical of captains to go and talk to passengers and act the way that he acted? I know there's sometimes a captain may have to say something, I'm assuming. But what he did, I really hope this video will go viral and that somebody can let me know. Because now I was looking at the comments on the original video. And a lot of people kept saying that the woman was wrong. She should have just said what he wanted her to say. Well, no, that's not what adults do. A lot of people were saying it was all her fault. She was being very difficult. Now, based on the snippet that I saw, I didn't think she was being difficult. I think that she didn't like the way that he was talking to her, didn't like the way he was how he approached her. And I think she was valid in that point. She didn't raise her voice. He continued to try to overtalk her, and she complied. That's the bottom line. She complied and did exactly what he asked him to do. But no, he wanted to treat her like a child. So tell me, anybody that's looking at this video, get in the comments and tell me, what do you think about the video that you just saw? I would really like to know what you're thinking. All right, well, it's G Butterfly. Talk to y'all later.